Okay, I've been looking forward to this for like 5 minutes now. Anita Renfroe is here. First of all, tell everybody where you're at right now.
I am at, well, I guess I should say my property in Texas. Like, I want to call it a farm, but we only have weeds and cactus and cedar trees. And I want to call it a ranch, but all we got is scorpions, and I don't think you can figure out a way to ride those. So it's just land. We recently relocated to my hometown in Central Texas. So
you're in Texas.
Yes, I don't I don't recommend trying to finish a house during a pandemic when you're out of work.
Well, okay, I'm from Texas, right?
Yeah, you're Houston-y, right?
I'm Houston. So if you have Texas scorpions, you can ride them. You just have to have a shield on your back.
Correct. They're that large.
Yeah.
I've been trying all manner of natural products, but apparently the scorpions don't read the label that says works on exoskeletons. I don't know. They're not buying it. I've tried barn lime, and I've tried cedar shaving chips, and they just use them as a mountain to springboard off onto my as far as I can tell. No, we bought this land, I want to say 13 years ago, not knowing like when we would end up building here. So we kind of started last fall and got like 2/3 completed in March. And then it was like, oh, hello, poverty.
Yeah.
I've missed you. You're back again. So of course everything got canceled off the road. So what that ended up with is we have no baseboards and no interior doors. So it's kind of glamping.
Yeah.
Is what's going on. But it's it's a project. It's keeping me busy and humble and impoverished. So
you have
like
no inside. You have no inside doors.
No interior doors. That's correct.
Okay,
so
it's like
you're gonna go
one big bedroom. Like it's just like
the whole house is. Well, it's there's walls, just nothing to stop you going in between them. So my mom lives here with me. My husband is still working in another city. Thank God. So not that he's not here, but that he's working. Yeah. So very, very thankful for that. So we're doing the long distance thing, but we've been married 38 years. So it's like I get a chance to miss him. Yay. Yeah. Like I used to send him to Home Depot. I was like, don't come back until I miss you, like 4 or 5 hours at least. But now it's like, I really do miss him. So my mom and I are here, and so we just have to yell at each other, don't come back here, if we want any privacy for gastrointestinal things. So that's what's up at the glamping mansion here.
I once stayed when I first started, and you may have done this too, but did you ever have to stay in people's houses?
Not with comedy, but I definitely did when we would take youth choir trips. So I do understand the model.
Yeah. Yes. So I got put in a mobile home, and they had a couch in the living room for me, and they had one bathroom, and I think they had 5 kids. They had one bathroom and no door. They had a shower curtain.
Yeah.
And that was it. And that was where
great idea. I might do that.
That's what I said. Yeah. So I would invest in some shower curtains. Yeah. Michael Jr. has some. I talked to him earlier, and he showed me he had some shower curtains in his studio for some reason as a backdrop.
Does he shower often in there? I don't understand. Is there a problem?
I think he was using it as a backdrop. We buy what we can afford, Anita.
Oh, okay. It's the backdrop. I see. It's not green screen. It's shower curtains. I feel ya. It is a pandemic.
So here's a question I've asked because I'm having singers and comedians and all sorts of people on.
Other poor people.
Like other Uber drivers besides me. What have you done? Any comedy shows, like Zoom comedy shows or anything?
Oh my goodness. Well, there's a women's event that I'm normally with part of the year called Aspire Women. Yeah. And they've done a few live cast where they were like, hey, you bought tickets for this. We're sorry. How about we just do something in the meantime because we're rescheduled, right? Yeah. But I got to tell you, the doing comedy without an audience
Yeah.
responding is death on a stick. I mean, I lose confidence in my ability to determine whether things are actually funny, because I love, like, maybe it was just funny to me, maybe no. I think everyone hates it. I should probably now go slit my wrist. You know, it's so discouraging because you probably think of comedy the same way I do. It's a conversation. Even though I have the microphone, everyone is agreeing or disagreeing, or you know, they're as much a part of it as me. Like, that laughter that they're coming back with is their answer in the conversation. And to do a monologue with no response. I've done it a few times, like for television, and I hated it then. Like, no studio audience. And it's just the worst. So I have done a few, but I haven't enjoyed them. I feel like it's like, I don't know. It's just half of it. It's my half of it, but it doesn't count if no one is keying off, you know, and coming back. So I don't enjoy them, and I haven't felt the need to go out and create anything for that sort of thing during this time. I know a lot of comics have done it successfully, and God bless them, but man, I felt zero anointment for that, you know.
I watched you. We did a show together in Canada, and I watched you because you do something that I do. You feed off the crowd so much, and you would drop a punchline, and that, like, there'd be eruption laughter, like just huge loud laughter, and you would turn, and then you would prowl the stage across as they were laughing, and then turn and hit them with another punchline, and then it'd be an applause break, and then you would walk back. Like, you were feeding off that energy, and that's what I do. I mean, I don't get laughs or applause, but if I do, I plan to.
You do, of course you do. It's so funny that you observe that, because I got it from when I was touring with Women of Faith, back when that still existed. But
women don't have faith.
Yeah, they don't. They've lost it in COVID. It was a collateral damage. Anyway, when I was on that tour, the camera guys would, the first 3 or 4 times I was on it, they would always say, "Can you be still for a minute?" Because it was in the round, and I would go the whole way around, maybe in a joke and a half, you know, and then I'd turn around, I'd spin exactly like you said, pivot, and I was completely unaware of it until they really dinged me for it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know who y'all been used to shooting, but y'all got to get with my rhythm, because I can't stay in one spot. But yeah, when the audience is with you, there's very few things that feel that affirming, you know.
It's electric.
Yeah, and when they're not, man, I grind in harder. I'm like, oh, I will win you. You wait. There's gonna be some part of my indignity that you're gonna hook into. Just hang on. I got way more where that came from. So I think a lot of comics, newer comics, struggle with trusting the room or trusting the moment. And the longer you've done it, and especially if you're Christian and you really believe the Spirit of God orchestrates your agenda and the places you're going to be from night to night, you really, I lean hard, like, okay, Holy Spirit, you knew I'm supposed to be in this room tonight. I need you to show up and make it what it's supposed to be. And so I think also, you know this because you've been in a long time too, is you honestly believe that you have experienced a lot of things in different rooms, and you trust your ability to get back to wherever you thought you were going before you got off track, you know?
Yeah.
So those kind of things are very comforting, and I wish I could do it right now, but I can't. Because I'm here with the Scorpions, trying to get my farm shaped up where people can actually come here and not step on things. That's my goal. And maybe have doors. But I got to get back on the road before I get doors. Doors are expensive. I'm not going to lie.
We were looking, because we have 5 boys living with us, and some of them are family members, I think. And we've got to get new carpet. Our refrigerator broke. like everything's breaking. And I think it's because now everybody's home all day. And so we're using everything.
Sure. It's getting opened 1,000 times more.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
So we were like, so we priced carpet, and I was like, yeah, maybe one day we'll be able to afford, you know.
Right now, everybody just vacuum 9 times a day. Yeah. You're doing I know a lot of people, we were joking about it, but so many people are having to learn what our grandparents knew is in certain times in your life, you just got to make do.
Right.
You gotta just stretch it. You know, I just know I wasn't like built for poverty. I feel that that's not in my original design.
Yeah.
I feel like, so I'm very thankful. I have some events. I mean, of course, we had events scheduled all year. They just keep getting canceled and rescheduled. But I'm very hopeful that I have 7 or 8 between now and the end of the year that we're praying will hold. I think people are getting more inventive with the social distancing at events, and I think more people are trusting it, even though it's not going to be the same number of people. I feel like the places where I'm normally scheduled to play, a lot of churches are just now figuring out, okay, we can have 500 people safely if we, put the social distancing part in the balcony, the people that are concerned about that, and then the people that aren't concerned sit in this section, So I think we're figuring it out. It will take, I would say, till 2022 for anything that looks like what we were used to before happening. But I'm hopeful. I'm very hopeful. While I'm insolvent, I am also hopeful.
That was my concern, because I had a show in October, and I was like, oh, they're probably going to cancel it, but they're still going to have Levi's birthday, and I'm still going to, perform. And so
for all 12 of those kids, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be outdoors instead of in the living room, but I'm excited. I'm still working.
Listen, work is work. At this point, I don't think any of us are proud. We'd be like, oh no, you got 13 people. What do you got? You got $500? That's almost enough for 1/10 of a refrigerator. Yes, I'll come.
I think because I talked to Strebelo this morning, and I think he would be okay with me saying this, but he's got a show tonight, and he's doing it for what he did the first year that he was doing stand-up. And I was like, I want that gig. Like,
that's right. There's no shame. I'm telling you, I think it's a big fat reset for most of us. And I'm thankful for any and all of the work. I have a few things that I'm doing. You were asking about virtual things, but I think the Aspire conference is having I want to say a marriage date night online. So John and I will be doing that. I think it's October the 9th. Is that a Friday? It's a Friday night, October the 9th. So I don't know about registration or any of that stuff for it. I just got put on my calendar today. So I normally don't know anything, but I really don't know anything about this. But I do know it's the Friday the 9th. And John and I are, been married a long time, and we still dig each other. And he makes me laugh. He makes me snort. People are like, oh, is your husband funny? I'm like, not in the ways that you would want on stage, but hilarious. So it's always a big fat surprise what happens when the cameras roll and we're sitting there together. So if you're interested.
That's going to be October 9th?
Yeah, on a Friday night. Yeah. So it could be really fun. I don't know. We haven't done one of these before. We've done some marriage events before together, but not one of these where we're just sitting there like this.
Yeah.
It could be very, very funny without even meaning to. Yeah.
Sarah and I are working on just the marriage part, and then we're going to do the marriage event part. But right now we're just working on the marriage part, and then we'll
y'all are newly minted. Y'all are just y'all barely even fart in front of each other at this point.
Well, I don't. I still don't. But
yep, ding ding. No sugar tonight in your coffee. Okay. No, I would just like to say, as much as I'm talking about poverty and all that, I think even in this very, they call it unprecedented and uncertain.
Mhm.
And, not to get hyper spiritual, because the Lord doesn't just, speak to me all the time, all day long. I don't want to be, it's not like Joyce Meyer or Beth Moore, but occasionally I get one. One flies by and I catch it. But I feel like all the times before that and all the times after this are both unprecedented and uncertain. We just didn't feel it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
We are all having a worldwide experience of this thing, right? And it's all bringing us to consciousness of the uncertainty and the unprecedentedness. But every moment of our life was unprecedented. We never lived that moment before.
Yeah.
But I'm very thankful that we're now kind of aware of it. And I feel like it set the table for God to speak to us in ways that we were really not feeling all that much dependence, on him. It's kind of like, yeah, Lord, thanks for blessing me. Appreciate it. Or, Lord, help me, in this situation. But now it really is day by day. And we all feel the dependence the way we feel the uncertainty. And I am both concerned and excited about where it's going to bring us all spiritually that we haven't been before. It will have been unprecedented.
So that's beautiful. Sarah and I have talked about that because, there's a reason they wandered in the desert. They had to rely on God. They needed their manna. And several of my other friends have talked about that. Like, we're looking for the manna every single day. And you do get to the point where you kind of like, we worship you, you're God. We want you, head of the household. But really, we got the day-to-day stuff.
Right. Yeah. Just God, if you could handle the big stuff like surgeries and
yes,
things like that, that'll be great. But other than that, we're good. We can go to Costco. We're fine. We're still loading up at Costco.
We're like, God, we could use some vegetables in the house this week. Like it's really changed our perspective of our prayer life. Like it really is. That's a great way to look at it. Is none of it was known. We're always living in the unknown, but nothing's going to surprise God. Like he knows what's going on. So
right.
That's great.
Yeah, I just pray he can figure out what's going on with live events. That would be awesome. He can just give us a moment of revelation.
Yeah.
About if we should go find a job in retail. That would be great. If you could just need that message, Lord.
I want a job where I hold a microphone and not a cologne bottle. That's what I'm looking for. If I could do something more.
I don't think they're probably not, but due to COVID, they're probably not allowed to squirt you anymore. I mean, that job may be gone too,
Think about that. You'd have to have like a long straw.
Yeah. And then what about the masks? Everybody be like, I can't smell it. I'm wearing it all.
Yeah. That's so great. Well, cool. Well, I won't take up any more of your time. I just, I appreciate you answering.
Bob, it's great to connect, and, much love and prayers to the people that are watching, to the other comics who are also wandering around trying to figure out when the next microphone might appear, and doing birthday parties and trying to keep body and soul together. Yeah. And I hope they all have doors. I just pray they all have doors.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for being on, and we'll let you get back to herding your scorpions.
They're waiting.
Bye.